Hello my friends, welcome back to our blind let's play Ace Attorney Investigation 2, Miles Edgeworth, the Prosecutor's Path. My name is FlightlessBird, this is your story-based gaming channel, and today we continue the forgotten Turnabout. I'll read it for you. To Miss Crane, thank you so much for helping with my plan. I'm glad that we can help each other get what we want. It's like killing two birds with one stone. Please get revenge for 12 years ago. Kay. Wait, what? Revenge? Huh? What? What? Hope everyone's having a wonderful, fantastic day today. Playing more Ace Attorney today because I don't have the time to go through Undertale right now and fight a really, really difficult battle. I'll probably do that tomorrow. But considering it's like almost 8 o'clock at night, I need something that I could do before I go to bed. In other words, Kay Faraday and Miss Crane were accomplices. There's that A word again. They probably planned to steal something from this room. Preposterous. I can't say that with a, with like a pause there. Preposterous is easy, but you see, I can't do that. Wait! That means the main culprit is. It's still Kay Faraday, of course. Its histories of crimes have been increased by yet one more. Victim's letter jotted down in my organizer. A letter addressed to the victim thought to be written by Kay. We'll have to check that in a second. The music is great. Thank you so much for helping my plan. Killing two birds with one stone. Okay, so it's exactly the same. Just wanted to double check. I'm the main culprit? I don't believe her, Kay. It's all a bunch of nonsense. There's no way Kay would do something like that. Nonsense? Not at all. The evidence speaks for itself. Wouldn't you agree? I knew that they wouldn't suspect Kay unless they had some sort of proof, but to think they would actually have such decisive evidence. Nicely done, Justine. Thank you very much. Your explanation is still insufficient. I cannot accept such an argument. Sebastian, would you please leave this to me? All right. Make sure you shut Mr. Edgeworth up once and for all. I can't allow their allegations to gain any more momentum. I must turn it around here. The letter from Kay. The relationship between Kay Faraday and Miss Crane is as documented in the letter. She roped Miss Crane into assisting her with the plan. However, for some reason, the partnership broke down. Miss Crane was murdered, but with her dying breath, she managed to retaliate. Her parting gift is this letter, which she tucked safely away in her left breast pocket. See, okay, so what I'm thinking I have to use this piece of evidence on her. This letter. Because this letter clearly says that Jill promised to get back to her most precious memory. I could be wrong, but that's my initial thought. Her testimony's even better than ever. Maybe the most perfect it's ever been, sir. Are you gonna be alright, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, of course. How unsightly, Miles Edgeworth. Save your stork act for some other time. Miss Karma? Just whose side are you on? I'm on nobody's side, Scuffy. Been searching for the truth. It's best not to take sides. She's got a point there. Wow, she's changed a lot, hasn't she? Watch what you say, Miss Von Karma, or else Mr. Debeste is gonna... Best you say? Well, I can tell you that the side I'm on is always up. Yarg! How irritating! Well, I suppose that's one thing we can agree on. The letter from Kay. The relationship between Kay Faraday and Miss Crane is as documented in the letter. And just what kind of relationship did Kay have with the victim? In the letter, she wrote, "Thank you so much for helping me with my plan. Their relationship should be quite obvious, that's right." She wrote Miss Crane into assisting her with her plan. I would like to hear about Kay's alleged plan in more detail. Is it alleged or alleged? I think it's alleged. Just as she wrote in the letter, she wanted to steal something. What's more, the sender of the letter is Kay Faraday, so it's obvious who the main culprit is. That letter could have easily been forged. It doesn't prove that she planned to steal anything. Really? Really, Miles? I don't think it was forged. If memory serves me right, wasn't she a great thief? She's taking a break at the moment. I doubt there is any thief who would inform a prosecutor about the upcoming crimes. Perhaps she simply returned to her trade without you knowing. I suppose I have no means of denying that possibility. Kay Faraday planned the theft and Miss Crane got caught up in it. However, for some reason, the partnership broke down. Oh, oops. Where am I at? I totally forgot. I'm in investigation mode here. Here. Fumbling over things, like I said, it's late at night. I'm tired. It's, gotta make mistakes, just to let you know. Just to warn you all. For some reason, you say, it seems your explanation isn't very clear. I'm sure the reason will become clear upon further investigation. But more importantly, there is no evidence to prove that Kay Faraday did not commit this crime. While there is some evidence to suggest that she committed a crime, none of it can truly be called decisive evidence. What about the letter that shows the complicity in the scene of the crime? I think it's fair to say we cannot decisively rule out the possibility that she committed the crime. Miss Crane was murdered, but with her dying breath she managed to retaliate. Do you have any evidence to prove that Kay was the murderer? Haven't you been listening? We've been saying that this letter is the evidence. Oh? And where in the letter does it say that she planned to murder the victim? Well, I've got it. It's a hidden message written in visible ink that can only be read by heating up. You know what that actually reminds me of? That reminds me of Star Tropics. I don't know if you ever played Star Tropics. I played it when I was a kid. And the only thing I remember about the game, there's only one thing to actually remember about that game, and that is that I got to a certain point in the game where I couldn't continue because I didn't have some sort of code. And what you had to do is you had to take the instruction book and dip it in water, and when you take it out, it reveals a code on it that your family member sent you or something. The problem was, I lived in a time where my parents chucked all my boxes and everything when I got a game. They didn't like stuff hanging around. And they would buy me like these plastic cases to put my Nintendo games in, whatever. So I didn't have the instruction booklet anymore for Star Tropics. And we didn't really have the internet back then either. So I had no way to continue the game because I had no idea how to get the code. Yep, that was the thing. Also, similarly, I could never be Count Crusted Camelot as a kid because I always got stuck on the riddle stones. And Arena, the first Elder Scrolls game, there was like the 7th riddle in the game that I couldn't solve. So yeah, there's a couple of games that I was never able to complete just because I couldn't get past some non-specific game-related thing. But you know, I did go back on the channel and beat Conquest of Camelot on here. So I was happy about that. It was kind of cool. I like the game. Sebastian, I want to get your hopes up for something like that. There is, of course, evidence that points to her as a criminal. Her parting gift is this letter, which she tucked safely away in her left breast pocket. We searched the victim's left breast pocket as well, but... You found nothing, I presume? Naturally, the officer who found the letter immediately brought it to the best man on the scene. The letter was safely tucked away in her left breast pocket, right above her heart. I believe this letter carries Miss Crane's will for the criminal to be arrested. I have no interest in your beliefs. What I'm interested in is the truth. You said that the letter was in the left breast pocket of the victim, correct? I swear by the goddess of law, there are no lies or mistakes in my statement. The letter was indeed discovered inside the victim's left breast pocket. The victim had been stabbed in the left chest area where the letter was hidden. This may very well be an important clue. I don't think that Kay wrote the letter. But unless I could draw out more information here, that means nothing. I should start by pressing her for more details. Okay, so once again, as I said the other day, whenever you have an adjective in a game like this, you always need to attack the adjective. So here, the left breast pocket, the left is important. So I need to show evidence that says that couldn't have happened. And I think if I show the puncture wounds, yes, so if I show the puncture wounds, you can see the top left. Can I use my mouse here? I don't know if you guys can see my mouse right now. But if you look at this hole right here, the top left one, that right there is where the pocket is. So if this letter was in her left breast pocket, it would have a hole in it, right? So do I just show this? Apparently I do. All right, well, I was wrong about the letter, but thankfully I didn't jump right away and I worked it out. The victim held onto the truth until her dying breath. A truly touching story indeed. But then who wrote the letter? Oh, someone killed her and then planted the letter on her after her death. Oh! Ooh. Spicy. Who did that then? That would have had to have been the killer. But the killer would have had to have known what we were doing. Who has the thing up for Kay, I wonder? The voices of the dead are soft. One must listen carefully to hear their dying wishes. And Miss Crane has spoken. Kay Faraday is the culprit. Perhaps the voices you have been hearing are actually the whispers of the devil. Ooh, that's a good line. Hey, don't make fun of Justine, and please don't whip me. Let's listen to the voice of reason. Judge Courtney, please take a look at the autopsy report. There is no need. I remember it perfectly. The victim was stabbed in the left breast. Oh. No! It can't be! The letter was found in the victim's left breast pocket. And that's where the victim was stabbed with the candelabra, right, sir? Hey, aren't you impressed with me? I said candelabra. That's a fancy word for me, you know? Precisely, not about the candelabra, but anyway, it wouldn't have been possible to stab her there without piercing the letter as well. Oh, the exclamative dots. So that begs the question, why was the letter found in the victim's pocket? It's simple. It was placed there after the victim was murdered to throw suspicion onto Kay. Somebody intentionally wanted to create this very situation. In other words, there exists a possibility that the letter was forged by the true culprit. No! The real murderer tried to pin the crime on Kay. That is the only explanation for the letter. And doing so, the murderer ended up digging their own grave, right, sir? His voice is amazing. All the voices are amazing. The culprit is Kay Faraday. The letter was, it was actually found in the victim's other pocket. Oh, bull. Huh? Ah, what are you saying, pal? I like how he calls him pal instead of sir. Good job, Gumshoe. The officer's report was wrong when he said the letter was in the left pocket. It's actually in the... Ouch! Good job, Francisca. Do we have a whip counter? Is anyone keeping track? I would love to know by the end of this case how many times she whips him. Just everyone in general, too. A foolishly fool who continues to make a fool of himself. Is there no cure for your foolishness? Why do you keep whipping me and quit calling me a fool? Well, then quit acting like a fool and quit acting like a spoiled brat, too. Arrgh! Yeah, that's right. I saved you the trouble of punishing him yourself. Indeed. Though I had no intention of punishing him. It might have helped if I thought of that sooner. Can I borrow one of those, Francisca? The letter is stained with blood. No doubt because it was found in the left breast pocket. There could have been an error in the officer's report. Unless you were the investigator. Ugh! Say something, Justine! I see you had no objections. Then allow me to continue. There is one more potential suspect in this case. Don't be ridiculous. The killer entered this very room. There wasn't anyone else here who did that besides Kay Faraday and the victim. To enter the meeting room, one needs a key card. And their reasoning assumes that the murderer and the victim entered the room together. This is what we overlooked. We just discard that assumption then. This evidence reveals the other suspect besides Kay. Keycard. Judge Courtney, I'd like you to take a look at this piece of evidence. Is there something wrong with that evidence, Mr. Edgeworth? This evidence reveals the other suspect aside from Kay. I don't understand. I simply cannot allow you to submit the evidence to the court. Was I wrong? We were under the impression, okay, so my logic was that one of the other people, the PIC, came in because they had another key card. I guess I was wrong. So where is the other evidence? Oh, the German Ninja mask. I don't think it's that. Admit one. It's probably not that. That wasn't it. What am I missing? What am I missing? What am I missing? There's one other suspect besides Kay. I can't go to people. Oh! I totally forgot this evidence existed. This is what happens when sometimes you stop playing. If I was streaming this game and playing straight, I probably would have remembered this. User ID 324619883. That's the other person. Ah! This is a key card record Judge Courtney handed me earlier. Like I said, I thought it had something to do with the key card. I just totally forgot about the report. Really should make sure I go over the evidence every time I start playing. But anyway, the victim's key card was used at 12:52 a.m. And there was one more person who also used a key card. So you're saying this person was ready to ambush the victim inside the meeting room? Reminds me a lot of case 1-5. The key card was used at 10:50 p.m. I wouldn't say it's impossible. No, it's impossible. Ah, what makes you say that, pal? You got any proof? Of course I do. I myself am that proof. Uh-oh. Your number. That's your number, isn't it? I was the one who used the key card after all. Ooh. Well, that sucks. Is there something strange about a PIC member entering the PIC meeting room? Well, I don't know. Do you normally enter the PIC meeting room at 10:15 in the night? That proves nothing. The fact that you went here at all makes you a suspect. Yeah, turning the tables is what I'm doing. Or do you perhaps have any evidence to say that you didn't kill your colleague? Such nonsense! What would I gain by murdering her? Allow me to reiterate what you said earlier. I'm sure it will all become clear upon further investigation. Why would I, a faithful student of the law, commit a crime? Maybe because you're 26 years old? And Jill was 33. So maybe Jill was higher ranked than you. And by killing her, you got a better seat at the round table, so to speak. True enough, I entered this room. However, that alone is not reason enough to suspect me of a crime. If that's the case, please tell me why you entered this room. I had some business to take care of, and some preparations that had to be made. Preparations? It sounds pretty suspicious, pal. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose what these preparations were. However, I'm sure you could hazard a guess. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Yeah. Was she coming after me? Because if she was, that would make a lot of sense, would it not? So, she was preparing for my hearing. She must have gathered all the necessary materials to take away my prosecutor's badge. Wonderful, wonderful! Okay, who is this? It's good to see young people go head to head so ruthlessly. If you want ruthless, go check out our other playthrough of As Dusk Falls. Who is that? Who is that? Got biker dude here. I don't even know what voice to give him. Honestly don't. That takes you big. When I was young, I'd always put his with this brash detective. And then one day, he just disappeared. I hope he's still doing well. Here comes the waterworks. Chairman Debeste. Oh my god, that explains a lot. The kid got his job because of nepotism. Oh my lord. And that's why Judge Courtney is always hanging around him, because she's trying to turn him into a better prosecutor to appease the father. Did she just say the best? Well, hello, Courtney. You sure are full of energy today. And if it isn't Lil Von Karma, ha! Look how much you've grown since I last saw you. Sir, it has been quite a while. Curtsy? You don't have to treat me like some sort of stranger, you know? I remember back in the old days when you'd sit on my lap and call me Unky Bobo. Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill someone for that. Oh, please, Gumshoe, call her. Say something like, oh man. Oh, there we go again. Oh, how I cried back then. Pops, what are you doing here? Remember the PIC was killed and I heard that you were in charge of the keys. What kind of prosecutor is followed around by his own father? Hold your tongue. Do you have any idea who this man is? Chairman of the PIC, former chief prosecutor. He's the right hand of the goddess of law. Well, no, Courtney. Well, I'm just an old chuckle. There's no reason to speak so highly of me. Please excuse my subordinate's behavior. I am. Hey, you're Prosecutor Edgeworth, isn't it? Well, along with his trusty sidekick, Dick Gumshoe. Man, look at that. Well, I am Blaze Debeste. I'm the proud father of that idiot over there. When that boy was born, well, me and the missus were as happy as it can be, you see? But you know now, I don't even know what she's got up to. Pops, you need a handkerchief? Oh yeah, Sebastian. Oh, he's an idiot. But he's such a good boy. You know, sometimes. Quite the doting father and son. Well now then, Courtney, how was the investigation going? Sir, we've established that the culprit is Kay Faraday. We are currently focusing our efforts. There are too many uncertainties in this case. It's impossible to determine that she is the culprit. Surely you have forgotten the matter of the letter. I already told you it was just a simple mistake. The letter was in another pile. You talk too much. Well, no. Let's all play nice. Just everyone, just calm down, okay? I'm sorry that you had to witness such an unsightly scene, Mr. Chairman. Man, don't apologize, Courtney. I can follow everyone's logic. You know, except that idiot boy of mine, Sebastian, that is. Hey, Pops! Chairman, Debeste, I am a prosecutor. My duty is to bring criminals to justice. However, I won't make someone out to be a criminal without sufficient motive and evidence. I've heard about you and your relationship with the suspect, you know? To share such a strong bond. Kay has assisted the police and arrested criminals countless times, pal! Ooh, he's calling him pal. There are too many facets of this case that remain unexplored. Look at all the stuff he has on there, on his coat. Well, I see. The bonds of the youth are a wonderful thing indeed. Wait, what? What? What did you just do? But you know, that is that, and this is this, you know? No, I don't know. What are you doing? What's that supposed to mean? Well, the prosecutor's office needs to resolve this case, you know, as quickly as possible. I mean, just think of all the other cases that are piling up. There's no time to waste here. It's unfortunate, but you understand, right, Edgeworth? What? Well, now then, Kay Faraday, is that it? I'd like to arrest you now. Huh? Okay. No, that's not okay. You can't just arrest someone to sweep the case under the rug. I don't care who you are. No, I won't let you. Kay's innocent, pal. And that's why Gumshoe is the best. To defy Chairman Debeste is to defy the law. It would be a grave act of disloyalty. In other words, a hearing won't be needed. Are you prepared to lose your prosecutor's badge? For Kay? Absolutely. That's Mr. Edgeworth's badge. You can't do that. Using a prosecutor's badge as a shield. What has the PSC come to? I like how she's on our side. Kay, you haven't done anything wrong. Mr. Edgeworth, I was only for a short time, but thank you for everything. I'm sorry. I turned out to be a criminal. We will make sure to apply your confession to the goddess of law. What should I do? Whatever you have to. When I was young, I wanted to become a defense attorney like my father. Someone who could fight to save those in need. And right now, this badge is holding me back. A mere badge for the life of a dear friend. Oh, that's so beautiful. I don't even have to consider it. You go, boy. Take him, Edgeworth. All right, farewell, Mr. Edgeworth. Objection!
Hold it!
Exactly. Hold it right there, Judge Courtney. What is it now, Prosecutor Edgeworth? You can take your stinking badge and shove it for all I care. I'm not leaving my friend behind. This is your prosecutor's badge. Prosecutor Edgeworth, what is the meaning of this? Consider this my resignation. Oh, you go! I am no longer a prosecutor. Mr. Edgeworth? What are you doing? Explain yourself, Miles Edgeworth! You can't be serious! Miss Edgeworth, you're joking, right? Absolutely not. Poor friend, do anything. If you aren't a prosecutor, well then my only mission is to bring the truth to light. If it's the prosecutor's path to turn a blind eye to the truth, then that title is worth nothing to me. I will walk the path that I believe in. I will not be stopped here. You're fighting for karma, fighting for me. No matter what you say, I don't intend to go back on my decision. So, you're leaving me behind again. I'll never forgive you for this. No, this is all my fault. I'm sorry. If only I weren't here. Wait, Kay. Detective Gumshoe, don't follow me. But Miss Edgeworth, boss. I'm not your boss anymore, detective. That's just too much, sir. It's always been you and me. We've always been a team. Detective Gumshoe, you no longer need to follow my lead. You should try to accomplish whatever you can on your end. Go save her. You know, this is kind of bad. You just let a dangerous criminal escape. How could I let her get away after all my hard work, say? Rest assured, Mr. Chairman. This area will be locked down immediately. Okay. You know, I expect the best from you, Courtney. Yeah, we didn't give her the satisfaction of taking it from us. And you're not gonna take Kay from us either. Definitely not. You know, it is late. Should probably stop here. Nope, I'm not going to. April 5th, 5:58 p.m. High Prosecutor's Office. Room 1202. Kay. She's not here either. Where in the world could she have gone? Hopefully she didn't hurt herself. Hey! Just the person I need to see. Hey, knock knock. I'm here. Mr. Shields. Hey, what's going on, Miles? Wow, long face. Love this music. Take it from Uncle Baby. You won't be popular with the ladies looking like that. Why are you here? Did something happen?
Ah, that's my line. Have you seen the news about the murder at the PIC headquarters? Your hearing. Wasn't it there today? Well, I found myself wondering if you guys had somehow get caught up in it.
Wait, it's already made the news?
I hear they're searching for a teenage girl suspected of killing an attorney. I can't imagine it could have been her, but and that has been bothering me. Could you give me the full rundown?
The truth is...
My Miles! You trying to give your Uncle Ray Ray a heart attack?
I'm not joking. She really did lose her memory.
On top of that, she's a suspect. Well, that makes things even more difficult. Where would she have gone off to? She lost her memory, right?
I was hoping she would return here, but...
Not likely. She felt responsible for what happened to you, right? Well then, there's no way she would come back here.
I know that, but where else can I look?
Calm down, Miles. This isn't like you. Sorry to see you get so heated up. Well, not that's a bad thing. If you're trying this hard to save an innocent suspect from false charges, I'm sure you'd make a great defense attorney.
Actually, just a little while ago, I turned in my badge. But that doesn't mean I've decided to become a defense attorney. Besides, Kay isn't just a mere suspect. I may have only known her for a short time, but we've been through quite a lot together. And I know she isn't capable of murder.
I'm surprised. Never thought you would go so far to support someone else. I don't know if you even realize it yourself, but it seems a deep bond has already begun to grow between you and Kay. I say it even gives my bond with your father a run for its money.
No, it's not that deep. She just keeps barging into my state of affairs. Aw, don't say that. Don't act like the tough guy.
Haha, yeah. That girl can be quite a handful. But I'm certain that something has changed inside you since you met her. I'm really jealous, you know? After all, I lost my own partner. Well, that's why you need to find Kay right now. I don't want you to lose your bond like your Uncle Ray did. Well then, I have a proposal. If you have no idea where she is and searching around blindly won't get us anywhere. In that case, why don't we try searching for the cause of her memory loss? Maybe that could give us a lead.
I see. That might be a good idea. From what she told me, something must have happened to her at the Grand Tower.
Great, that's it. Well, let's get going then. Hey, at the very least, could you stop looking so grim? If you stay that way, Kay probably won't want to come back at all.
Good grief. I'm no match for this man. Ooh, man, this has been good. I like the character development, you know? April 5th, 6:42 p.m. Grand Tower viewing platform. It seems it's already dark.
Still open on the day of a murder? Gotta admire their capitalist spirit. But there's no one on here. Looks like we got the place all to ourselves.
To prove Kay's innocence, I'll need to investigate her lost memories.
Hey, let's go, Miles. We can investigate the roof as much as we want, so let's do what we can.
Fine. Do what we can, huh? Suspect that's all we can do for now. Grand Tower viewing platform. Oh, it's over here. Interesting. It's a statue of a creature with the body of a lion and the beak and wings of a bird. Hi, birdie! These statues seem to be guarding the entrance to this peaceful park. It's an immaculate work down to the last detail, but since it looks so fearsome, wouldn't it frighten away the visitors to the park? I don't think so, it's kind of pretty. Maybe it was created by a guy by the nickname of PH. It's a statue of a pony sparkling in the twilight. The statue has wings. Perhaps it's Pegasus, the flying horse of myth. No, there's a horn on its head. Could it be the legendary unicorn? But I thought unicorns didn't have wings. What's this? There's a plaque at the bottom. The title of this work is written on the plaque. A magical contradiction. Oh, that's cool. I suppose the only part of this work was I was able to understand the contradiction part. Magical contradiction kind of does match what we're going through, doesn't it? It's a cherry tree with branches spread wide. The flowers are nearly in full bloom. According to Kay's testimony, before she was pushed, she was standing under the cherry tree. Kay testified that she remembers standing under the cherry tree. The person in the red raincoat had pushed Kay off the tower. She said they came toward her from the direction of the stand. Man, that is such a creepy picture. From that, we can deduce Kay was pushed over the railing on this side. Person in raincoat came over from the stand and pushed Kay over. The railing is about as high as my chest. It's unlikely that someone could fall from here accidentally. I don't see any particular problems with this railing. Nothing for the pony. I didn't know if I could search this bottom part. It's like something that keeps sticking out there. You see that? I think that's talking with him. Yeah, it's probably talking with him. And what's up with that raised platform below the tree? Is that something I could look at? Ah, why do you think Kay lost her memories? Was there something she wanted to forget? Miles, did you say something horrible to her? Of course not. I would never say anything that cruel to someone. Well, I might have said some unkind things to Detective Gumshoe in the past, but... I see. And now I feel bad for the big guy. This right here. Okay, so that's still a cherry tree. Oh, this... Okay, I could skip that, I guess. Okay, so there's nothing here. Okay. Just want to make sure, because it looks like there's definitely a raised platform there. If you insert a coin, you can use these binoculars to gain a nice view of the city. I'm sure if Kay were feeling better, she'd be happily glued to them. For her sake, I must slowly examine every nook and cranny of this viewing platform. Pretty big evidence area. This TV is to be used to showing advertisements for the companies at the Grand Tower. Right now, it's just showing regular television programs, though. It's a lot of dots. Wait, what am I watching this for? The Steel Samurai doesn't air today. Yeah, come on, we gotta take care of our girl. Miles Edgeworth, so we meet again. What are you two doing here? Well, we came all this way, so I thought we'd buy some cotton candy. And what about you? You want folks to get the wrong idea about you? Do not worry, I will decide my own actions. You're just a no-good ex-prosecutor. It's no wonder you got the axe. Wait, what? You got fired? You needn't be concerned with what happens to me, and I didn't get fired, thank you very much. Are you sure? Oh yeah, what happened to Kay? Huh? Was there some sort of trouble between you two? Anything I could do to help? What about an injection? It's fine, I don't need an injection. Our injections are answer to everything. Oh, right. It's getting cold, isn't it? Let's go home. Well then, Miss Edgeworth. Let's meet again soon. So was she blocking something? Yes, she was. You, sir, how about some heavenly cotton candy? The heavens tier. Heavens tier? Did they name them after the shape of the clouds you can see from here? We tear a regular piece of cotton candy in half and then sell it without changing the price. Ah! Well, that's why the name is Heaven's Tier.
A day that costs an apple, crying tears of joy. At least it's honest about it.
If the customers knew that, they would be crying tears of sorrow. Strange. I would think that there would be something here. There's not. And when I look at my logic, oh, well, there we go. I thought I only had one piece of logic. That didn't work. The pieces don't fit together quite right. Ah, I need to reconsider the information. So railing and where was Kay standing aren't the answer. Okay, all I had to do was go to the left apparently. Ah, Kay. She's here? Was she hiding up in the tree? Ow. Kay. Don't mind me. I'm just admiring the view beneath the tree. Did you just fall out of that tree? I didn't mean to fall. My foot slipped. She was hiding in the tree. You're not leaving me. I'm gonna take care of you. You're a suspect, and yet you remained at the crime scene. That's not a smart thing to do. Even if you have memory loss, shouldn't you have realized this much? This whole time, while you were playing this silly game of hide and seek, I've been worried sick about you. Are you angry with me? Of course I am. Answer me. What were you doing here? Did you think I'd let you off the hook that easily just because you have memory loss? That's not it. I came here because I thought I could get your badge back. What? If I don't regain my memories, you'll never get it back. I thought if I went back to where I lost my memories, then maybe I would remember. If I could just remember killing her. You didn't kill her. Huh? You're still the same as you were before you lost your memories. Your thoughts and actions have always exceeded my expectations. Without a doubt, you are the Kay Faraday I know so well. However, I cannot approve of your recklessness. I understand.
Cut! Hey, you get 0 style points, Miles. Or more like negative points. Here's how it's done. Hey, Kay, how about a hug?
Oh, okay.
Oh ho, well then.
Mr. Shields.
That was just a joke, honest.
We interrupt this program with breaking news about the Grand Tower murder case. The police believe the culprit is a teenage girl who was present at the crime scene. She remains at large as the police continue to search for her whereabouts.
Oh dear, this is getting pretty serious. Well, gang, what's the plan? We don't have much time.
Indeed. It's only a matter of time before they find us here.
So then, why don't you tag along with us for a while, okay?
But I'll just cause trouble for you again. It pains me to say this, but I've got nothing left to lose at this point. Mr. Edgeworth?
Well, that settles it. We're all in this together now. Miles, you're in charge of proving Kay's innocence. Failure is not an option.
Yes, I understand.
Kay, I want you to help Miles with his investigation as much as you can.
Yes, I'll do my best.
Haha, now let's be quick about it, before the cops find us here. Unlike some people, Uncle Basil has a lot to lose. Sheesh, if I lose the office, I'll never be able to face Gregory.
This man, I'm glad he's on our side. Yeah, me too. Oh, hold on, there's no logic here. I'm trying to talk to Kay. Oh, I thought she was our partner. She's not. Yes, can I help you with something? memories. I came back here because I thought I might remember something. Could you again go over what you told me before? Well, it was raining, so I stood under the cherry tree to take shelter. And then a red person in a red raincoat appeared. That person pushed me and I fell. Can you tell me anything about the person in the raincoat? I'm sorry. I don't remember that much. No, wait. As the person approached me, I saw the moon just over their shoulder. The moon? Yes, that's right. It's just a faint memory, but I think the moon was in the exact same spot as it is now. So that means you must have been on the other side. He must have been against the railing. She was against the tree. It was floating just above the cherry tree. She could see the moon behind the figure in the raincoat. So that's probably answering where she's located. This is a new piece of testimony. I'm sure to keep it in mind. Mr. Edgeworth, for a while now, I feel like I'm on the verge of remembering something. What? Is that true? Well then, please speak freely. Say whatever comes to your mind. Okay. I remember a faint scent. It was a wonderful smell coming from the counter of a food stall. I followed the fragrance, only to find a perfectly sculpted burger resting on 2 golden buns. The tender and juicy patty made my taste buds sing with joy. Yes, I can remember what I thought at that moment. That I need to stop and get dinner? Yeah, I agree. I want seconds. Oh, she's so adorable. I don't think this memory has anything to do with this case. You called yourself the great thief Yatagaratsu. You prided yourself on being a noble thief who steals the truth. Do you remember anything about that? Well, maybe I was called a noble thief because I won the Nobel Prize? That's Nobel, not noble. And they don't get prizes for thievery. Alright, present. This letter, it's a promise I made, right? If you get caught conspiring to commit a crime or promise, then yes. A crime? But I was the one who wrote this letter, right? This letter is not handwritten. We cannot be certain that you wrote it. Is that so? I am terribly sorry. Even if you give me that, I still don't remember anything about you. No, I wasn't planning on giving it to you. Okay, now we have the I don't know line. So we can speed through some of these. The person in the red raincoat really was here. Are you sure that they were walking towards you from behind the stand? That's right. They walked straight up to me. There must be some evidence. Maybe that person left footprints behind. There is no ground behind the stand. No one could have walked there. Then was that person a ghost? There are no such things as ghosts. Oh, is this one of those so-called contradictions? Yeah, the problem though is we know where you were standing. And we know where the criminal was standing. There's no way that the criminal could have been standing behind the stand and yet still be facing the moon. I was carrying this, right? I don't remember anything about it though. So you really don't remember? Not even a little bit? Well, maybe I just grabbed it without thinking due to the shock of losing my memories. You know, like they say, grasping at straws. What's wrong? You have an awfully serious look on your face. I won't tell you to be silent, but you should think before talking. I see. I will keep that in mind. That was kind of cool. Oh yeah, that wasn't kinda, that was cool. Do you like badges, Mr. Edgeworth? Not particularly. But you're always carrying around badges. It is just a part of my job. And this badge is also a piece of evidence. I see. So you carry around things like that in order to train and strengthen your spirit? Or that is just clearly wrong. Oh, you're right. We don't have the Prosecutor's badge on us anymore. I was about to say, why do we still have the Prosecutor's badge? It's not, it's the Yatagratsu badge. Oh, that's interesting. So now we know that we can logic up some stuff.
I can't believe this is already on the news. Wonder how they caught wind of it. Maybe they're doing a live report from the helicopter over there. Uncle Ray's gonna be on TV. Miles, make sure you tune in.
What is he thinking at a time like this? Yeah, so we're gonna have to go to logic. And we're gonna have to say moon and where was Kay standing. And I think that's probably going to unlock the next part of this case, but that's gonna be for next time, my dear friends. Thank you for everything. I love you all so much, and I hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, amazingly awesome day. And until next time, so long, and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you'd like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. But before we go, please remember that you matter, and you are brilliant, and you are loved, and you should always be true to yourself. Never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.